for sure.
Yeah. All I'm hearing is grow, 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 grow.
And we're getting feedback.
Oh, we get it. You're online there.
Hello.
So we live.
Yeah.
Hello.
We live.
Yeah, it's always a rocky takeoff.
Oh really? Okay. Well, it's Africa, baby. You know?
Yeah, it's a shithole.
We're Tesla's on their way to sort it out for us.
Well, come on, Elon, send us some fucking bandwidth.
Some batteries.
Come on, Elon. It's not like you never smoke, buddy. Come on. Where'd you get all these great fucking ideas from, buddy?
Yeah, dude. Folks, welcome to another HotBox podcast. Tonight you'll be speaking dank with myself, Buzz, Owen, Brandon, and Dan the Grow Man. We're going to go for a sort of overall theme tonight of harvesting. We're not going to go deep, but as we go along, let's try and talk a little bit about our best tips and so on, and I'll keep all that going. But I think before we get too into it, tonight live, we're trying something fancy for a shithole like Africa. Thanks, John. We've got Jules and Myrtle online, I think, to give us an update from Vienna live. They're at some big deal drug policy conference. Jules, we got you there. Could you tell us a little bit about the mood and if it's been worthwhile?
We all know you're not that straight, buddy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Whoop, whoop.
Yay!
Yeah. High fives.
Sure. Sorry about that, eh?
Conversion's loving you.
Don't do that, Jules. Don't do the conversion. Just have fun, buddy. Do what you got to do, man. Don't do that conversion. It'll kill you every time, man.
Don't go there.
Yeah, we're sitting at a normal 20 something.
It's cold in Africa, 27 degrees again.
But it's like 40 in this room.
The hot box.
It's quite literally. Yeah, what's it been like there, guys? What's the mood been like? You seen any drug policy celebrities?
Other than yourself. Oh yeah, well, fields of green for all.
And you haven't caught yourselves getting super bored and playing Candy Crush during the long speeches?
Stand you back.
It's crazy. Like I'm meant to stay up.
Reboot. Oh, reboot.
Back in January already.
You gotta reboot.
It's a dab stick.
Stop.
Stop.
Okay.
We're going to do take two.
It's like,
They're like, what?
Yeah, sorry guys.
no.
Take these off a little bit. Guys, it's like awkward squared. Another take. Checking.
Check 1 2.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get like someone to do us a hipster, like SABC. It used to go
Live, like a live,
Yeah,
and,
a little bit live.
a little red and green live.
Yeah,
One of
because
those
what we do
lights.
is we scribble technical issues on the thing when it's like that's very ghetto.
Just get one of those color boards, and then just somebody goes.
Exactly, dude. See
Just
how
on
long
the
you can
colour
hold it.
board.
Cool, we live.
Yeah.
Folks, welcome to another HotBox podcast. This evening we'll be speaking dank with myself, Buzz, Owen, Brandon, and Dan the Grow Man. Before we get into any of the depth of things, we've got Jules and Myrtle live at the moment from Vienna at some big deal UN drug policy conference. Jules, can you tell us a little bit about where you're at and what's going on?
No Viennas. Viennas give you all kinds of diseases. No Viennas, bro. Awesome. I was gonna say, sorry, Myrtle, our apologies. But as long as you got your vape pen, buddy.
Nice. That's a beautiful time to be the Dan bar.
Got it. Yeah, Arcs. Jules.
Why can't they hear him?
I don't know.
We can hear you and all that.
Now we can hear it.
Cool.
Wow.
That's
Good
good.
job.
Cool, man. Jules, I think
Good job.
Walking in the middle of United. So we've handed out loads of t-shirts to very important people.
Cool, man. I think we're looking forward to the update. We'll speak loads about it when you get back. I think for now, much love from SA. Work on those THC levels real soon, like, eh?
Yeah, well, man, thanks very much for letting us into the update. We're going to have daily Facebook updates. We've done 2 or 3 of them. We'll do another one tomorrow, and then we're out of here.
Wow. Good
Thanks,
job.
buddy.
Thank you.
Take care, man. Give them help.
Wow, that's good stuff, huh?
Quite good news, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best, eh?
International, hey?
Yeah.
International.
I never
girl.
knew, I never had a real perspective on it being in LA all the time. You know, I just had my friends always telling me what's going on with it.
That's exactly what we're going to get to right now, because from what I understand, you've both done time in LA, hey? Okay, so our first topic of the week, this was a story in the NBCPhiladelphia.com, whatever. It's titled, Hershey Sues Marijuana Companies. And just to give you a bit of the blurb, cannabis businesses, beware. The Hershey Co. is on the warpath. Perhaps the most famous confectionery peddler in the world has a well-documented history of actively protecting its trademarks. The marijuana industry is no exception. Although Hershey's has been relatively quiet in the marijuana sector since it sued 2 cannabis businesses in 2014, the company seemingly ramped up its oversight of possible trademark infringements in 2017. So the nitty-gritty of the story is that Hershey's, and for folks who don't know, that's like the Cadbury's of America, I imagine, a big deal.
Yeah.
And
Shit tasting chocolate, though.
commercial,
Really?
dude.
Oh, my
The
God.
man.
Is this? Are you gonna tell me this is that whole story about where what was the Stoners version of it? There was a thing called Cushies or whatever it was called.
Let's check it. So the deal is that they went after Harborside, which is a big name in LA from what I understand, and after some other small one.
But why? Infringement on the logo?
Yeah,
It's
the
not
way the
like
logo
Hershey's,
looked too
but I mean,
similar.
that's an obvious thing.
Yeah,
We had
yeah,
a similar thing. We did a dab pack, and I called it Pac-Man. I mean, Dabman.
Yeah.
And the background was Pac-Man, but he was goofed. He had a cross for an eye, and they had the little sticky guys with the dabs. You know,
Okay,
and there was a
globs of
my trademark attorney got hold of me. He said,
Yeah.
"Listen, you can't be doing that."
You
You
can't.
know?
Well,
So-
Gorilla Glue, we
but
were
it was
talking about
lots-
Gorilla Glue.
Gorilla Glue, you can't do anymore.
You have
It's
to change. They had to
GG4.
change its name now. Yeah, no, you can't.
But look, it's a small thing. I mean, really.
No, but it's important. People become, and this is something that I've noticed is just how finicky people have come with the different strands, because there are so many different strains out there, and people are walking around now. I mean, Owen lives in LA now at the moment, and you know, he said everybody in South Africa smokes cheese. It's just cheese. It's gas and it's gas and it's cheese and it's like, you know, and people are like, how do we know that, you know, you're getting the cheese unless you know that particular strain?
Yeah.
Whereas in America, there's all these other beautiful strains and stuff like that. And the thing is, people need to be finicky about their strains. We need to become more kind of like we were saying about the African strains. Keep them here, man.
Yeah.
Keep the IP here. Keep the intellectual property of the seeds and that in this country, because the rest of the world wants them now. You know what I mean? So I'm cool with that, man. Don't copy. Don't
Do something original.
innovate.
Right?
Yeah,
Because what they were
innovate.
saying, they
Exactly,
were knocking off. So what they done is these oaks made like a gummy bear thing. It's based on what's called like a Jolly Roger, and they made it into a Jolly whatever. And Hershey said, although it wasn't the same, it was so similar. But the big deal is that like I said, they went after the small, but they made the mistake of going after Harborside, and Harborside said, "Whoa, we'll fight you back on this."
No, well, it's money. It becomes a
And in the end, they won the case because Hershey's, or they said, "Okay, we'll drop the charges, but you must sign a non-disclosure agreement about all of this shit." They said, "No, fuck that. You want to be like that?" But it was also weird because it wasn't
that was
like
clever play from them, dog.
it wasn't like Harborside made the things. What happened is there was a guy who made them and sold them to people, and Harborside sold these.
Right.
But they tried to like make a point of it. All Hershey's.
Yeah, I mean, they wouldn't expect you to come back at them either. You know, being Hershey's, they think they can throw that game in. But the way it works is they'll
It's
take
bully
it to court,
tactics. Like
and
everything
they'll
else.
be like, how comparable are the two logos? You know, I mean, trademarking's a different
Because it also
game.
comes down to things like colours and that. But like you're saying, maybe we should be original. But if we were going to see South African versions of things,
Absolutely.
would we see like Daddy
Well,
Bears
think about it.
and
Most
and-
guys are creative. You smoke weed.
Let's be honest. Let's think about something. So when I was growing up, okay, and there was that strain that came out of Durban called Durban Poison, and I remember getting those little Durban sticks. You know, used to go into your little pencils, go to
Pencils.
O'Brien, get little pencils, and undo those pencils and hope that you get something out of it. That's how I grew up remembering Durban Poison.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, somebody has apparently gotten a strain from Natal and is now calling it Durban Poison, and is now being bred into so many other different strains in
Girl Scout
all
cookies,
over-
they say, is Durban
yeah,
Poison.
exactly.
Does it really?
Yeah. So now my question is, what was, it's like saying Malawi Cobb. Now, Malawi Cobb wasn't a strain. Malawi Cobb was the way they did it. They used to take it in a mini
Yeah, the
cob.
technique.
Yeah, a technique, put it in the ground, leave it there, let it dry like that. It comes out in little bricks. Hey, Malawi Cobb, everyone, hey, I got a Malawi Cobb. Yeah, sure you got a Malawi Cobb, but what strain was it? Nobody knows what it is. It's the same as Durban Poison. We don't know, but it's going back to the land races. There are land races, yeah. Whether they be inbred, we can always back whatever it is and
Hard to find out.
Yeah,
But they're there. They're
They
there.
are there.
That's right. I've heard of. It's like a phantom out
because
there.
does
He's
America
had
see
these seeds
this,
for like
eh?
28 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like the Durban poison has got a point. That's the Dutch take on it. I think it's 1992 where they started developing it. I don't know if it was Sickman or one of the.
probably
I'm sure it was
Recency
Recency
or-
when they did the strain
look,
hunters, man.
and
It
they
was-
did the
they
The
were
whole
gonna do
Durban
the
poison
strain
next to
hunters.
that, they're nothing alike.
No, of course not. Durban poison was a horrible looking plant.
I wonder who okay, so
Oh, there you
Girls
are.
know. How's it?
How's it, buddy?
Girl Scout cookies by Cookies
yeah,
Fam
that's
or
Durban.
by
Durban poison train wreck.
now what I'm trying to basically get back is
Because I get
the
where
original
you're
Durban poison was a cherry pie that got crossed that made the Girl Scout cookies.
Okay.
So who was the person that came here and got our Durban poison
And took it there.
and took it there on the first instance 20 years ago, 10 years ago, I don't know how long.
But that's what I'm trying to find out. Who is that person? Who is that person?
Did it go to
I
Amsterdam?
went to Amsterdam.
So then Amsterdam
That's where
basically then
Durban poison
passed
comes
on a
As
crossed
their Durban poison
their
comes from
Durban
Amsterdam.
poison, so a
Exactly.
crossed version. So it wasn't
Exactly.
actually like a
Look,
direct
but you need
lineage
to
drop.
understand, our weed at that stage was just grown like weed.
It was different.
So
Yeah.
they've taken a seed now and given it like juice and spectrum.
Yeah, but
and
my
that-
course.
best is,
No,
man,
of
look,
course.
I'll tell you what happened is they arrived here, strain hunters, and they went to go get some weed and they got a matchbox or a newspaper. They opened it up and they went,
Shit.
why did you sell me seeds? Is there no weed? But okay, we'll take these seeds. And they
Right.
probably took all those seeds with them, grew a shitload of them. I took the best one that they thought was
That's exactly what it is.
Durban poison. I'm telling you, they had no idea what was coming. They had a big bag like this and it was
So we got Adam Shane here basically saying that
Absolutely.
in Malawi you've also got a Malawi land race. So Malawi cob was generally made then from Malawi
Well, it's
land
Malawi,
race.
it's Malawi gold. And
Malawi gold, there we
the
go.
cob is the process which he was
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
And the
But
process
even if you go there, it's hard to find.
it is
I mean,
because
be
what
there-
I've heard that the traditional Malawi cob was it would be in the banana cup or there was corn
corn,
cob
yeah.
wrapped up etc. But
Daisy.
that's the dog singing. Yeah, that's
The
it.
HotBox is haunted.
coming for us.
And what they would do is they would actually bury the corn cobs below the goat shed.
Yeah.
And the goat shed would have the urine that would then obviously ferment around it. Not it, because it would protect it by the shell, but it would heat up.
right.
And the heat would then gently decarb and basically
I'm
mature
glad you're telling me the
trichromes.
urine thing now because
No,
no,
and then that was it. And then the chief would never ever, he will never drink, or not drink, sorry, don't drink. Any elder would never smoke any kind of cob that was no older than a year. It had to be a year older.
Wow, I didn't know
Because
that.
they want that amount of cure that they like.
But now, like, if
So
we
that's how quite a deep, like, apparently what
if we
happens.
think in the most extreme current sense of this, then, like, if there were to be an artisanal version of the Malawi cob, you would want it to be grown indoor to the max
Right.
and dank to the max, and then you also want to know that it's a non-GMO mealy thing that it goes into,
and no goats
Oh,
are urinating.
Why-
like
why
that.
are we getting
What,
there? We're
actually
getting there.
recreate the cob, huh?
and then you want to do it in some reclaimed, upcycled hipster fucking jar with your homebrew soil that you get a vegan to piss on every day. But ultimately, because
But what happens is that what happens is if you do that in a jar, the vegan doesn't need to piss in it. The vegan spirit will actually be sucked out of his body and get taken into that jar. That's what will happen.
and then we
So-
compost the body. But now Dan, you're bringing up a great point there, because like even though there's these IP issues with like gummy bear knockoffs and things like that, what we're seeing as well is IP issues within strains. Like
Oh,
you're
yeah.
saying, how do you know what you've got is Girl Scout cookies or cheese or skunk or the latest banana craze? How
Well,
do you
for
know?
us down here in the deep down Africa, we have to trust the most mainstream or a breeder that is true to his word that you've made a good contact with. You make good contact with him, they've got no reason to lie. At the end of the day, there's a lot of cannabis growers and breeders that I've found that aren't out there to screw you over.
Right.
They're literally they're real. It's like
They
this is
love
what
the
I've got.
plant. They love what the
This is
plant
what we
comes
got, man.
from.
And
Most
if you
part,
can really get to them, they'll give you their honesty because they're not going to lie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Unless you got some knockoff dudes
Well,
that
for
are
the
trying
most part,
to.
you're right. I mean, you'll get the genetics from them, you know?
Yeah, you got to really follow. But that's for us kind of guys that take that into every day's thinking about weed. Other people don't. They just like,
'Cause like-
what is this? Oh, it's a bag of Northern Lights. Cool. Fuck, man. I don't think that's got sold it to you. He doesn't even know what it was because some dude just gave it to him and said it's skunk. And that dude thought it was skunk, but it actually wasn't. It was some other fucking strain. So
And you've smoked long enough to know the difference between what an indica does to you and what a sativa does to you and what a hybrid does to you. You know what I mean? It's like, and that's why I say I'm done with those days of car guarding and trying to find. I would rather not smoke any weed than smoke shit weed or weed that I don't know. And it's because and people are gonna. When it comes to that, I'm a vegan because I want to know what pesticides did you use. When all of that shit was that's going into my lungs. I need to know that I'm not putting some foreign stuff into my lungs. I'm already carcinogens and all of that. But let's get onto that situation. But so again, I always, it's finding that reputable person who's kind of give you what you know works for you. Because I'm not a massive indica person. I don't like being. I'm a creative. I like to be.
Anyone does enjoy it. Everyone's like pro sativa, huh? Like
no, fuck that shit. Get high.
Cheese is the choice of the day everywhere I go.
That's what I see.
Cheese,
cock
cheese, you name it. Any
cock
cheese.
Here or there.
You're hanging in the wrong places, buddy.
Cheese has taken over this country like a rash, like a bad rash.
But it's not, because I go to Cape Town and I take a cops a cars, and I'm like,
But it's what cheese has done to the whole entire industry. Exactly that. He's saying, it's more cars. Because you're going to think, it's dank. Because they thought, cheese was good. Let's not get it wrong. It was good back in the day. And if you got you get a good pheno of it, it is delicious. But now everything is measured against cheese. And if it's not cheese's level, everyone's like, man.
But you know what the thing is? It's a demographic thing. Because even in the States, or at the East Coast, which is predominantly sativa, it's Blue Dreams and sour diesels.
Okay.
That's a preference. When you
sour
go West
diesel.
Coast, it's OG.
Okay.
So it's really like the mix of the people. It's a weird phenomenon or whatever it is. But LA just want to get couch locked. That's it.
I don't blame them,
really.
dude.
You don't want to be sitting in the traffic. You don't want to be going anywhere because it's a waste of time. And whereas the East Coast is very much sour diesels and stuff.
Yeah, also I find cheese now for me has become more a grade than an actual strain. So before it used to be outdoor and indoor. Now it's outdoor, greenhouse, high grade, indoor.
Boutique.
Yeah, and then you get Swazi in there as a sub, because then Swazi refers to a grade, and Jut refers to a grade. For me now, cheese
and
refers
below
to
Jut
a grade.
is car guard. I just want everybody to know that's where my grading is. Because I smoked so much car guard weed when I was in tech. I remember getting, and that's why I laugh about it. It's not a joke. You used to get a matchbox and shake it and tune. There's maybe enough in there for like maybe a third of a joint. So you don't tune anyone. You go get your little chillum, pack a little bit of tobacco just to make that little bit work. But had I known then about seeds, I would have kept all of those seeds.
It was a good thing, you know what I mean? Roll it up with the sticks and stuff.
It's supposed to go whiz, bang, fizz, snap, crackle,
it kind of changed like this overnight, I remember, we had, everyone was Swazi and Rooibos and all these great strains. And then decided to get a little indoor setup, start working out how to use some pumps, and then start doing Orange Bud, AK-47.
That's candy orange.
The bazookas.
Bro, and killed it. After that, it's like, okay, now we know where we can go. And that was a long time ago already. It was
a long time.
15 years ago.
But the times are changing, so let's get on to our next topic, because it's a symptom of the times changing. So there was a story at Civilized Life, and it was titled, "Makers of Coors Beer Say Marijuana Legalization is a Risk Factor for Their Business."
Of course it is.
So this is basically like Castle or someone saying, whoa, we're going to lose market share to weed. But let me give you Oaks the blurb, and for use at home, beer is one of those industries that seems like no one would ever be able to stop it, right? Well, it turns out one of the biggest beer manufacturers in the world does see a threat on the horizon, marijuana. In a financial document released a few weeks ago, Molson Coors, the company that makes both Miller and Coors brands, said they're monitoring the cannabis industry and how it will affect their sales, listing it as one of the company's risk factors. They're worried that the consumers will use their extracurricular money, their party money, to buy marijuana instead of beers. Yeah.
Fuck you.
Hey, well, let's have a look at the first month, that it was legalized in Colorado. Okay. Within that first month, there was the difference in the tax amount made from alcohol and the tax amount made from weed, and it was millions. Oh, look at that! Look at that product placement right there.
Sponsor us. I drink a lot of it. Too much.
Green Coke.
Can of cola.
So yeah, I mean, of course they're going to be upset about it. I mean, let's be honest. I used to love drinking alcohol. Alcohol was like a big part of my life, but it's not anymore. It's just not that important to me anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe in my 20s it was, but weed has been part of my life since I was like 17, 18 years old. So, you know, I have seen what alcohol does to people, and I've seen what weed does to people. And let me tell you something. My friends and my close friends that smoke weed and that, they are incredibly productive and they've got their shit together, and most of them are not going through divorces and stuff like that, and they've got their kids are incredibly beautiful. And then, you know, I've got friends in that have just gone through hell because of alcohol, because of alcoholism, and you know, it's a different beast. It really is an ugly beast. It's a different beast. So, I mean, you know, if you're going to talk from a personal perspective, from a baseline of like, are they going to lose money? Yes, they are going to lose money. I know that people would rather go out and get stoned than get fucking drunk on alcohol. Number one, you wake up feeling better. You know what I mean?
And they were saying, like, they've done the numbers, and they reckon a quarter of the beer market, if given the choice, would move to weed. Quarter.
So they must be clever.
I think that's highly conservative.
You think?
Oh yeah.
Too low, hey? Bet higher.
How do you guys feel about alcohol infused?
Well, this is what the hairy farmer.
Great name.
He's saying that's clever. They should make canna beer.
Yeah.
Craft canna beer.
Yeah.
Which is basically, if they were clever, they would. They would then say to themselves, well, let's invest in farms, let's invest in the community, let's rather get the product from them and start making something from it.
Well, let's talk some boring grow shit. Aren't beer and weed, like, so close together? Because it's...
Well, hops, barley hops.
Yeah. I've heard that technically they are so close together that if you splice a clone from a weed plant and graft it to a hops plant or barley plant, it will grow. They're apparently like so close.
Well, if you splice a plant, you can really.
Yeah, you pretty... I mean, I guess the plants would have to be the same for it to grow really in unison.
Yeah, who knows?
But there has been talk of oaks doing that with a barley
I've just heard.
But it doesn't work. It doesn't. It never gets past what we wanted to do. Like, imagine growing buds on long vines that are 10 meters long high. I mean, that would be amazing. Little nugs all the way up.
Yeah, dude.
It's the same genome or the same family of plant, but I don't know.
Look, my personal feeling about all of this is I think you should keep the two separate, man. I just think that alcohol must be for alcohol, and if you know, man, and because I know they brought up can of wine and all those kind of stuff, and I don't know, maybe because like I've had some really bad experiences being a stoner who also for a very long time in my life loved Jack Daniels more than anything else. But the problem is that I would go and get pissed and then smoke a joint and then drink some more and smoke some more, and it was just never a good idea. So I don't know if that
might not even be a good idea to do it at all.
At all. Well, this is my point. Do you know what I mean? So this is why I'm saying I don't know so much about the whole idea of it being fused and stuff like that. I don't know.
Well, this guy's gonna go off at SA says he's gonna thinking of dropping some dry buds instead of his dry hops into a brew. So
I think it's totally possible.
let us know how it goes.
Yeah, dude, I'd love to know how that goes.
If you do it,
as long as it doesn't make me drunk.
Let us know.
I don't.
But it will.
Well, then I don't want to try.
It will. You know, if you want to make.
You know what it needs to be? If we're gonna do a rip off of a product, it needs to be Bud Light.
Yeah, or Bud Light, or Coca-Cola, but you got Cola-Cola.
Yeah, Coca-Cola.
And you've got nice cool drink flavored, whatever flavor you want.
Yeah,
You want some
how about a gin and
blueberry, you want
chronic?
some...
What's it?
A gin and chronic.
Yeah, gin and chronic.
Keep it going. Tell us what you think. What would be your latest rip off fucking local
No, a friend of mine
thing,
did that. We were sitting at a bar in Cape Town the one day, and he was a big fan of gin and tonic. And he'd got some like CBD, THC 1-to-1 drops, and he dropped it in there, and I said, let me taste this, and it was the most delicious thing. I'm not a fan of gin and tonic at all, but it tasted amazing.
Well, there's
I love that.
that's a very nice...
It's a nice big double slug
Yeah,
right there in a little tin.
There's guys overseas that I've seen in America that are in Canada actually, where they're making Turp champagne.
Well, that's my younger brother.
Takes
That's about to say.
Is he married? They're making Turp champagne.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
cool. They're doing that, eh?
And it's patent, I think, 3 months ago now.
What is this? Hang on. What is this we're talking about here for everyone's sake at home?
I'll pull up a picture for you.
Yeah, so no, I just know it from the tech side. I don't know the product side that he knows of, but I just know that there's this Turp champagne that these guys are making. It's quite exclusive. It's terpenes champagne. It's carbonated
champagne.
water with terpenes in it. It's the most energetically refreshing hit of happiness. Imagine all the flavor you could ever.
Infused with the champagne, it gives it such a great nose.
That's it.
Well, what if you put
no psychoactive effect at all? Like it is
Just gives you a great nose.
Great nose.
I love that terminology.
No, he's going to try it. Good one. Off-road SA is going to try and make the hops for us.
Wait, send us it, dude.
Yeah.
Tell us when it happens.
Let us
and
know.
We'll drink
Send
that
it in.
shit, dude.
We'll review your beer for us on
It
your
just
show.
mustn't explode in the courier, dude.
Mary Lou wants to know if she can send some cannabis art cushions to the Mary Java show.
With pleasure. That is...
Let's hang on. Guys, you sound like fucking telepathetic. Brandon, we've got the skit lined up. You did a kiss skit.
Champagne, two Canada boys and my brothers.
Guys, have we got it lined, VJs?
They've been on a
let's have a quick look at the skit, and then can you tell us a little bit about... I keep calling it the MJ Cafe, but it's the what's... It's
that's right. MJ's great.
Cafe.
MJ Cafe is a good way of
Jane.
making it. Mary Java, man.
Mary Java coffee shop, eh?
Yeah.
What is Mary Java?
So, I was always a fan of Jules and Myrtle because they were in the film industry before they became the Dagga couple, and I don't think many people knew about that. So I said to her the one day, saying to them, listen, I had this idea to shoot a
Sir,
show.
how high are you?
Blankly speaking. And
No, officer, you're wrong.
that. We were speaking about that.
Hi.
And
How
to
are
get
you?
on board to speak to people and say, listen, so what, you smoke weed, so what? Everybody knows that now. But what don't they know about you? Which is what I wanted to, which is where the idea of the talk show came from. And then a friend of mine who's in Amsterdam, he approached me and he said to me, look, he's got these ideas for coffee shops should become legal in this country. And we spoke about it and he said, well, why don't we launch the brand Mary Java? It was, Mary Java conversation, Mary Java. But the problem is, he was telling me that in Amsterdam, the big problem is that there's not good coffee, and we really want to serve good coffee in our shops as well. So we're sourcing African beans at the moment.
Okay.
So when it does become legal, we will be hopefully running as a proper coffee shop with weed and edibles and all kinds of stuff. But up until that point, it'll be a show, and part of the show is us finding property and developing a show, but getting to meet people. And I know that we're going to have you and both Dan on our show pretty soon as well.
That's great.
No, because it's important. It's important. We hit a different audience memory, audience target market and stuff like that with our different shows and that. And I think it's good that people know that it's not just we're not divided in our fight to free the plant. We're in it together, And I just feel that I came out the green closet many years ago because I'm tired of living the lie, of hiding behind a thick wall and smoking like a 10-year-old. And I worked really fucking hard. If my professional life was run, if my personal life was run like my professional life, I'd have an amazing life. But my professional life is important to me. What I do for a living is very important to me. So whether I smoke weed or not, I'm a professional person. I get the job done and I get a shit. So I got tired of being scared about the fact that for some reason, because people now knew that I smoked weed, I had to be on cue, on point all the time on set, because I didn't want that motherfucker to say, oh, he doesn't smoke weed, he can fuck up his lines as many times as he wants, or he doesn't, but, oh, Brandon fucks up his lines. Oh, he's a so I don't fuck up.
Yeah.
I don't fuck up. So I'm just saying.
It works for you, though. It works for you.
Yeah, it works for me, and the thing is, I just think that people need to, there's so much more to us than just, oh, look, the whole weed thing. So, even Andrew Warsdale was one of our interviewees. He's one of the most amazing directors, and I love him. But people are so caught up in all these other bullshit that he's involved in. They don't really know who he is, and I got who he is out in the show, in the interview. So thank you very much for having us here again and punting our show. I'm proud of being part of you guys, and
And have we got the skit lined up?
Yeah.
Let's give it a guys. This might go well, it might not, but let's give it a shot. Let's have a lol quick, eh?
a lol. lots of love. My mom was twins lol.
Sir, how high are you? No, officer, you're wrong. It's high. How are you?
Guys, please, much love.
Sir, how high are you?
In the description and all that. We're
No,
going to
officer, you're wrong.
DJs will figure it out. So you brought up like a very important thing there, is that because I smoke weed isn't the only dimension of me.
Yeah, people.
Now, I know with Dan and me, it's probably a lot more than most people. Our lives are pretty saturated by the culture and the fact and all that. But like you're saying, it's not one dimensional. But the moment people know that about you, they suddenly put a context to you or a box or a stereotype.
And that's so sad, because you know what I mean. I used to be that person, and I used to be that person with. And I'm talking just general. It doesn't have to be weed. You know, you just label people, and you miss out on so much beauty and connection with people that sometimes. And I find this with weed smokers. They are probably some of the most honest human beings that I've sat with, because they're actually tired of all the bullshit and the lies and the stuff like that. So, yeah, I don't know. I just think. Whether there's a status to break, and I hate using the word to normalize smoking weed, it's because of the laws, and you know, and I know we're getting so upset with the cops and stuff like that, with all these raids that are going on, and I want to tell people it's not the cops' fault, man. We need to change the law.
Well,
it's that you're a soft target. We come to terms with the fact that weed smokers are soft targets. We are soft targets, and the cops are gonna do what they need to do. You know what I mean? We've got to change the law so that they actually have leverage to go and do other stuff and not worry about this
again,
shit.
you're being telepathetic, because just this week, our next story is about this.
Knysna. That's what
Knysna, yeah. So in Judas Square, for those who don't know, it's basically a Rasta community within Knysna, and they hang out and they do their Rasta things and all that. But this week, it was a pretty shoddy picture, but basically 17 cop vans pulled up to raid this little Rasta community. 17 cop vans. They stopped everything in Knysna. They must have called in extra cop vans and sheriffs and whatevers to come raid these oaks. But in the meantime, you sit there and you look at oaks like the Guptas, and you look at your TV that was stolen last year that you've heard nothing about or whatever. 100%. Leave those oaks. Yeah. Let's go arrest the Rastas. Let's go arrest an easy soft target who's not going to shoot back.
Yeah, Brendan nailed it on the head. It's the same in the US. They do the same thing. But the good thing about it now, when you say denormalize or break in the box or the typecast of a stonehead, like, I'll be going to meetings now, and we're busy working with the Suda project and the Swazi project, and you'll be sitting at a table with CFOs, CEOs of the biggest fucking businesses, the biggest. And I splurge out, you know, so what have you been doing in LA? You know, they kind of know what's going on, but then I mention, you know, we've got commercial growers now, and then all of a sudden it's like, wow, because my grandmother's using this oil, and boom, 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 and then you start seeing people that you've never assumed are smoking or using. They absolutely are.
And it's so weird.
Because we're so typecast, and you know what, it's not public, it's more governmental when it's demonized. But then also movies like Cheech and Chong, so you get that association immediately. But I know guys that are rolling in it, highly successful, and aren't the stoner typecast. That's not weed every day.
You know what makes me really sad is that because I'm so open about it, is that, like, you know, I have a 7-year-old daughter who goes to school, and you know, you meet people and you chat to people, and no one's trying to give me the look, but in those quiet moments, they're like, Mommy's got cancer, my sister's got arthritis, and I'm like, listen, I know the right people, I can put you in contact with them, you know what I mean? Because, and that's what it is, but it's all done very quietly. I'd love to be able to take all those parents and say, listen guys, you know, I can put you in contact with the right people for whatever it is, for your, for you know, bombs and drops and liquids, and you know, there are reputable people out there, but it's all still so, I don't know, it's still very.
That's very and I think the biggest, if I were to define the demographic that I'm seeing enter the market the most at the moment, because you said everyone's granny and auntie. Right. Every time there's a D-Day, I see more of these people, and I think it's the sort of queries we're getting are more from these sort of people, are the people who would typically have a U or Hostpreneur magazine.
But they've been lied to for all these years. They've been lied to for all these years, and now. My mom's coming on our show. My mom was very much anxious until I started getting a clinical arthritis. You know, she's now off whatever the tablets is that she has, and she actually tested. She said, no, it must be a brain thing. So she stopped. And then got back onto it, and she said to me, my boy, you've done it. And now my uncle's got it for thrombosis. With another auntie who uses it for what? And I'm like, and yeah, for years, and the conversation I had with my mother, I was showing her, and now it's different. Because of what I do for a living, I've really met some amazing people who come out to me and say, listen, I know someone who knows someone, and been able to meet people that I've been able to say, listen, try this out, this guy's reputable, you know, there's some scallop on the side of the road busy making vodka. Anyway, I'm just saying. I just think it's important that people's mindset needs to be changed because whether you smoke, they go over the cost. There's a whole big theory that goes behind all of it, but it's kind of. I know, but I take the tablet, so that's okay. Whatever you need to do to justify you taking that, I'm okay with. It's just
high CBD.
Whatever. That's what podcasts. That's very important. Breaking that stereotype, and then especially in the States, there's a lot of money to be made at screen rock. So people are honestly fucking DJing became popular when I was playing, you know? Everyone's a fucking DJ. Everyone's a grower, but they're forgetting the point. I think the point that we bringing across is uplifted in LA it's what Brandon's trying to do is breaking that cost of a stoner. You know, it's educating people on what it can do. Because it's been demonized for so long, we all theoretically carry the burden of proof. And there's been so many, centuries of people going to jail and whatever the case may be, persecuted. You know, we got to carry that up. Like your friends are busy working on people's cases, you know, in jail. I mean, if that's where it's
imagine if they give every person that has the opportunity to use the oil on whatever reason. You've got a guy come in and who's suffering cerebral palsy. He's making his own oil. Also, awful. And he's going to come in and fight you because this is where I can now walk, I can move, I can do things that I wasn't able to do on the other stuff. I'm not going to say the other stuff. I'm going to tell you the other stuff. Because the proof is that, well, we need proof. We need to have meetings. We have the meetings that we had to show the proof of the proof that we had. There's been so many scientific proofs and stuff like that. It's now time to start finding human people that will go, yes, I do have cancer. It's my last hope. What's the worst that can happen? I can sleep for 14 hours a day. Okay.
I think there's two big points here. You get the first out the way. Is that you're on the head there. I know everyone's saying more studies on that. But I really feel like it's great. Everyone should have that discussion. Maybe we should start with a discussion of show me the study that says if I want to smoke a joint, you must put me in the day. I don't see that study. So we must start with that first, or any other fucking study story. But Owen used a thing earlier. You said Cheech and Chong for me is a contentious thing. So
I think they were amazing because they gave that impression.
But there's no disputing they're funny, but you think they did more good or bad?
I think they knew exactly what they were doing. Because I think those roles beautifully. I think at the time, with the way the laws were going and you know, the establishment of the FBI and all that stuff, and then you drug their war on drugs and that. Yeah, exactly. I think it was the wrong time. It was the wrong time.
But they also brought a levity to the whole thing. Because they made it fun. They made it exactly what it is.
But for the hippies, the guys of today got it. They got it. But the people that weren't there, and you know, people that don't smoke weed, I mean, some of them are feeling, my whole life, they smoke a joint back, I get it. It's not this, it's something totally different, man, you know what I mean? So, but anyway, so I don't know, I think they marked a turning point in the history of marijuana as it becoming a very big thing, because after that it became a whole bunch of movies came out, stoner movies came out and stuff like that. And yes, it led to a lot of good things, but I think the person who was uneducated, that was his impersonation, or that was his impression of what a stoner is. You know, and then you get Bob and Silent Joe, and they all
well, that's exactly because now you're arguing against yourself, because it did create that persona that I was undoubtedly funny.
But for the stoners, we got it. People like, dude, come on, man. You know what? And let's be honest, we all know that fucking stoner. We all know that one person who. You know, and that's cool.
Yeah, I can't stand it.
Well, let's do this. Let's put it to a vote. If you want to motivate or not, Dan, Cheech and Chong, good or bad for the stoner vibe?
Good.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, what?
Hindsight.
How bad is it compared to what you go watch any of these other movies where you watch the college kids getting pissed out of their mind, drunk, house parties, get fucking totally drunk, and it's cool though. It's cool. So how can two dudes cruising around, laughing, getting grilled be bad? Come on.
And listen, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Let's be totally honest. Because I'm a fan of them, man. I mean, like Cheech and Chong, the Corsican brothers. To me, still is you have to be stoned to watch that movie.
You know what we should do? I think we should make an episode about the podcast for a week. We watch all of them, including the Corsican, because that's contentious. And we do an episode about just Cheech and Chong.
That's a good idea. Look, I think they last week. Oh, okay. It was great. You must take it out, Corsican man. I think at the time they served a purpose, and that purpose was good for one side, and an assumption made by the uneducated, non-smoking side. That's the way it was, and not seeing that they were taking the piss out of it. Because that's what they were doing.
Chong, wasn't it taken from my dad? I was reading these comics.
The Fabulous Freak Brothers.
Yes, the Freak Brothers.
Isn't it, now it's thought of it up, the two and two, there's three of them, one kind of like Cheech, and they acted like Chong.
I think it was so like, your vote is obviously, it was more good than bad.
Yeah, of course it was.
Owen, more good than bad. I think it was bad, eh? Bad for all the right reasons. It really cemented the stereotypes for a while. But it's one of those things that it also, it signifies, whatever. Historically, it's that moment for me, and the Fabulous Freak Brothers are the same symptom of when weed culture began. When weed culture's life began.
So I said it was perfectly planned. They were not idiots. My thing is this though, okay. All over the world, that fight is over, Buzz. That fight's over. We're still fighting that fight, you know what I mean? Overseas, that fight's over. You know, you go to America now, it's been legalized. There's no such thing as... And I've been in Canada when I was shooting Elysium, and there I could go down and smoke, and what's his name?
Mark Ebery.
Yeah, at his place. Smoke a joint, and everyone didn't mind. But yes, I lit up a cigarette. Yo! They looked so good. You know what I mean? I enjoyed that. Stop me from smoking. I felt bad smoking. The same way I used to smoke a joint.
Since you've been in LA, you know, there's always this thing like weed makes you paranoid, but it's also the fact that it's illegal that probably makes you a bit paranoid.
Yeah, of course it does.
But now, like, when you're in LA, have you ever been like comfortable enough with weed there where you're not paranoid, where it just is?
Absolutely.
So you...
2006.
Okay.
I went to Venice Beach for the first time, and I walked to a doctor. First time I was in LA. That's the first time we've seen each other. It hadn't been a while since we've seen each other. My girlfriend went in and she went to a doctor, and the doctor said, "What is your problem?" She said,
"What is your problem?"
Yeah. She pointed at me.
Looking at it more.
Can't sleep at night. Paid, I can't remember, it was like $50. Got a 31-day license. And we walked down Venice Beach smoking, and it was the most amazing thing because nobody cared. Nobody cared.
No, it's very relaxed. I mean, it's LA. That's what they do. You know, even before it was part. 2006. It's just been very relaxed. It's been a waste of time to confront it law-wise, you know. But legal-wise, in terms of a bigger institution, a bigger growth facility, it's still federally illegal.
Yes.
You know, so they have that, you know, if they really wanted to. But the Obama administration dedicated no funds to the Fed in terms of prosecution. But now, it's funny you mentioning it, now it's kind of coming up again because we're in a whole new ballgame now. Now it's getting legalized and regulated through the state. And so it gets tricky. It's always been a little grey area. But for LA, it's just... everyone just smokes.
Yeah, it's a whole new world.
Yeah.
So guys, this is like when you watch Pacello with your old properly whatever, and they cut to the grow insert of Dan the Man. So it's getting to that time of year. Let's talk harvesting. So we don't have to go into the most deepest shit about harvesting, but like if you were to give a noob some advice about like what things to do and what things not to do when it comes to harvesting. Kick us off.
I actually wanted to hear what our man Owen has to say.
Yeah.
Because it is quite a different way to look at it, I think. I mean, we do a different technique completely here. Or at least it's perceived. What do you guys do up there?
So like, let's say, just to kick off, I think let's start at the beginning. What's your experience in LA? What do oaks usually do? They've got the bud ready now, it's time to harvest. What's their process? Dry trim, wet trim?
Look, it really depends. I mean, if you're doing like a mom and pop grow, like 1,000 foots, guys would just cut it in the pot and let it dry out there, standing up. But when you get into a larger facility like 90 Light Grow, and there's 5 rooms, you know, we just remove all the sun leaves, obviously, and then we just dry hang them, you know, in a nice 60 humidity, and just let it do its thing for about 9 days. And we do it kind of pre-trim, but we really want to save our sugars and the terpenes. We get a bigger profile if we leave more leaves on. No sun leaves, obviously, but yeah, I mean, I know guys that just cut it in the pot, like I said, and but we got rails and racks, and we hang them up and put them into like a carrying.
And is that an important thing? Sorry,
Oh, absolutely.
50, 60, what did you
Oh,
just...
fucking yeah.
Because you just said a word now. Like if you have to look it up, what is curing? What is drying? So you chop your bud, you hang it up. Where do you hang it? Where do you like? So you chop it now. Where does it go? Where do you cure it?
You dry it enough so that, but like you're saying, you dry it for a few days, make sure that most of the moisture is out, and then you would want to put it into a glass jar or into some kind of airtight jar, which then allows it to redistribute the moisture throughout the bud, so you don't have like a crispy outside with a bit of a sticky in the center, maybe. I mean, that's more the best way I could describe it.
And
Also,
when
it
you dry
enhances the flavor, and it also it ages. Your terpene profile will sort of be more pronounced if you have done the right procedures.
Okay, so in an ideal world, you take your bud now, you get a good pair of scissors,
You hang it up to dry.
yeah, you take off all the dead leaves,
Some ends being not directly on the flower. you
dark
dry
room,
that.
no lights, cool.
And then good airflow though, I mean good circulation. You don't want stagnant air, you don't want them too close to each other either. You're creating humidity, and then about 75 you'll be getting PM all over your flowers.
Jeez, boy, you know stuff, huh?
So you just keep it down to like 60, and it's a good humidity for curing as well. So after you like, we do a different process. I dry it in a cold room, so it takes a little longer to dry.
Yeah.
But I find my terpene profile gets like got such a fucking nose, it knocks you that like be bagged and you'd smell it. So we do it dry, but the way we're drying, you just part curing, and then for the curing process, you'll have like well, we got these cabinets, and they basically vacuum. And then that just releases the vacuum every like 30 minutes, depending on where you are in your cure. But about 10 days, you can have a full cured bud. So it's just popping it, airing it out, shaking them around, close it up if you're doing like South Africa's smaller grows, like tents. So you'd like get a turkey bag. Once it's dried for 10 days, do a proper trim, and then you'd bag it up, let it bag, and then every day open it up, mix it up for 30 minutes, close it, do that for about, I don't know, like 2 weeks. And you've got
Sounds
a cool,
like
you've
a
got
lot
a
of
nice.
work.
Oh, you know what? Everyone wants
Sounds
to grow
like
weed.
a
You know?
lot of
Go
work.
ahead and grow
Sorry.
weed, but
If you want dank weed, you got to
want
cure
dank-
properly.
if you want
Man,
proper
that's
weed,
not, I'm like, what?
That's it.
if you really want, I mean, it's got to that point where you know you're either drinking a street bourbon or a VSOP.
go.
You know,
This is
it's
not
how you're
easy.
looking after it. Curing is the most important.
It's not easy.
Because this is for me, harvesting and curing is where the magic happens.
Absolutely.
That's the art of it.
Well, you can
when to
destroy a
chop
whole
it,
entire crop with just a shit dry and a shit cure.
and how would a person know when the time is right?
Well, that's what I was thinking. I was
harvest their
thinking
plant.
about that on the way here, and I was
How would
thinking
a
to
person
myself,
know?
you know, a lot of South Africans, well, a lot of what we say South Africans, what we've heard is, you know, look at the not trichrome, the pistils, 70% dry on the pistils, and I was saying
And just to
myself,
explain, the pistils are those white pubes.
yeah. So basically, what I was saying to you is the pistils aren't actually a good indication because pistils are only used to collect pollen in order to reproduce, in order to drop seed. That's their main function. They have no other function but that. So if you're going to say 70%, yes, it could be well into the matured stage of the trichromes, but you actually have to get a loop or a magnifying glass and look at your trichromes to see the degradation or what level. You know, you've got your 3 stages that are generally known, your clear, your milky, and your
And what are
amber.
trichomes?
Trichromes are basically the capsules that hold the THC. The
I've heard
trichrome is
that.
what we want, man. That is what we want as many trichromes as possible.
I've
in the
heard
plant.
that. You said something? It goes what, 3 colors? Amber.
Yeah, clear,
It's
milky,
not
and amber.
clear.
Clear,
The
milky,
milky
amber.
amber.
I've heard that. That I have heard.
And generally, the more amber, the more heavy matured it's going to be. So more of a degraded THC, more less
couch-like
THCA,
effect, yeah.
more THC. Exactly, it's more couch-like.
Yeah.
If you bring it more into the milky side, that's the most ripest time. They say, you know, that's the best, the peak time.
And
of the
I
plant.
hate to be crude in my analogy here, but from what I understand, trichomes are those sticky little sugary things.
Little mushrooms.
dankstons.
Little
So
mushrooms that you
when
see
you
on
look
the-
at them, take a lacquer photo or a loop or whatever, but from what I understand, the best time to harvest is when those little mushroom oaks are basically a cum colour.
Creamy.
It's
milky.
like a creamy,
That's
translucent.
one way to fucking put it.
Yeah, like I've never ever heard that in my life. But
Hey man,
fuck.
when it's the color of your cum, cut.
That's when you send your chicken the groom and you're like, right. And this is what
Just
you're
made
gonna
a really
look for.
beautiful thing so sexually.
But
I know, like,
right now.
Inappropriate.
The milky is good, but we would take it down on a 30% amber. And then,
Okay.
like when you were going 30%, the red hairs are still white and 70 red. That used to, I mean, we were doing that at, when we were
Base
kids.
level when we were kids, exactly.
Yeah,
but now
that was
science
like
has
a rule of
progressed.
thumb.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
is some kind of angle on that, but
there's also
If you're based out in the field,
Yeah.
for sure,
100.
use the pistols and say, cool, well, they X, even wait until they 80.
But from what I understand as well, the science has become such a big thing that they're able to also now extract certain things out of the plants. So now they're able to take THCA and extract it directly from the plant. So for the people who don't want to get high, don't feel the high, because people have got to understand that that molecule goes through changes, it matures. So it goes to THCA, goes to THC, and then it becomes the CBN if you leave it down too long. And there's a whole bunch of things that happen to this molecule. And they've got it to a science, they know that if they've got the THCA, what it does, what the CBN does, what the CBC does, what all of those things, they've now got it up to a point where they understand. So don't tell me there's not enough research. If you know what one little thing out of a massive thing can do to one thing, you've done enough research to know what it does. So, they've gotten that to a point for, especially with cancer patients, and that, and I think it's great. I think it's fantastic.
I've heard of the research that's been done is nowhere near what it's like basically a pinprick in this hole, because you can take any profile of CBD, CBNs, THC, THCA, because that's obviously if you had to ratio them all out and get that as one instead of just only THC or whatever it was.
Right, it's like 129 already now.
Just so many. I mean, just your profile, your compounds, cannabinoids.
Yeah.
Then mix that with any mixture of terpenes. The possibilities are endless, and they haven't even.
Israel's ahead of like a lot of
Israel's probably the
people,
furthest ahead in the research side.
So it'll be another topic we have to speak to that, because a lot of the guys that I've been speaking to that have been getting results from plant is full plants.
Yeah. FICO, full plant extracts and all that. But so we know that like everyone's been THC before for the last 50, 60, 70 million years. And now everyone's starting to look at the other dimensions. But if you look at it in a purely recreational context now, it's getting a bit more Moorish. So before we just buy the strongest bud. But now everything's becoming an option. So in an ideal world, if you can visualize this with me, we're getting to the point now where guys, if we had to prematurely harvest the plant that only had clear trichomes and make dab out of that, it would be glass.
Yes.
Or you think we'll always get color?
That's not how it works.
No.
How would you eat an underdeveloped grape?
Yeah, but maybe oaks only want 1% THC. But maybe the other things are relevant.
Then you find the strain and you grow it to its full potential, that it gives you the full profile, that it gives you everything. You want to appreciate an apple for a fully grown apple or a...
I'm all about the full...
I understand what you're saying.
Not everyone's about that point. Oaks do it because...
I can tell you why. You'll get a harvest that's done prematurely. So it's clear trichomes. So it'll be more of a cerebral high and very short-lived.
Anxiety for me, like crazy, absolute anxiety.
Look, I heard something that someone said that they must make dabs. When you make dabs and that, pull it early. And pull it early.
So that's what you're saying.
Take it early. I heard it on one of the podcasts.
It will affect the color of your end product.
No.
But is color worth product quality?
People are like that. People are like that. It's the same as the gold papers.
Well, let me explain to you. I mean, I went when I was in LA. I wish I knew what that bar was that I went to, and they gave you it was white dabs that had no flavor, and you then take the terpene, and you take the terpenes and you dip it into the terpenes, and then whatever it is that you're smoking was
isolates.
Yes, isolates. That's exactly what it is.
THC isolates, and you put it into terps.
Yeah, and then you actually get a little drip, and you drip it on there, and I was like,
we had them here.
Yeah, the blueberry, and I was like,
tasty.
Yep, that tastes like blueberry.
You know when you make like a big batch of, when we had like this quite a bit of this.
Let's talk, guys. Let's actually for a minute. We're coming into land real soon.
Okay.
So, what dab are we dealing with here, Dan? What is the situation?
This is a wax.
That is like that's waxed out pretty well. It's got quite. From what I can see, it looks like there's
just butane.
Yes, that was butane from what I was told, and it's a blue tie.
And we also got some blue tie bud in the house, right?
Blue tie, baby.
That's pretty impressive. I must say that looks very
I
impressive.
like that.
I'm you know, people say there's people that are very kind of like they're connoisseurs and they are
Connoisseur.
Yeah, connoisseurs.
Get it right, connoisseur, man.
And then you get these bud whores that are just they have no idea. If it looks good and it smells good, it's got to be good. And I'm like, it's like. The bag appeal is so much more important than the actual.
But that's why I say
100%.
guys will take clear there because it becomes more about how decadent it is.
Oh yeah, but go fuck yourself. Actually, you know what I mean.
Oh,
well, look, in South Africa, most people, from what we see, even with oil, they don't even understand the difference. Like they've realized that the clearer would equal less contaminant, I guess.
Well, that's what they think.
Less contaminant.
That's what they would think, but that's not the truth. That's not the truth, though.
What?
That the clearer it is, the less contaminant.
We're gonna have to start a Mythbusters, like Weed Busters, where we put this to the test.
Because if you had to do that, let's say you do a butane blast to that, and it was more white.
Oh, no way,
people
you're right,
definitely going
because
to
you
go,
filter all that
it looks
shit
so
out and
much
it's
better. It
coming
looks
out
so
like
much better. Because it's see-through and it looks like glass. This is the purest. And you could, if you don't know, people will go,
but shadow would be as opposed to a wax. I mean, you're still sitting with all the lipids.
That's exactly it. This is just
extraction in there.
This is the trim batch, obviously.
Yeah, but I mean, we had
trim batch. I'll make clear. I mean, it's not about the. Obviously, it is.
It's about the equipment that you use to pull it.
Sugar leaf. That's all we use. No one uses bud.
Okay, quickly, guys, before we come into land, let's go around the table. So, Dan, if you were to say how long to chop till a person can smoke the bud,
from chopping harvest.
Yeah, from harvest. How long should they dry till they can smoke?
Geez, if you're greedy, 10 days.
Yeah.
But if you're not, I would say at least 3 to 4 weeks, 5 weeks. 4 weeks is good. If you can hold out that long, it'll taste really good. It really will.
Sure.
But anywhere between minimum, say 2.5 weeks, you can then sort of tuck into it.
Owen, what do you rate?
Yeah, I'll be there. I mean, when you get to a point where you don't have to rush it, sure. The longer it's there's pros and cons. You really want it vacuumed at like 3-4 weeks. You don't want any more air in there. That's why dispensers are good. They have a jar which will close it up, but it's still getting air all the time. But that jar is going to get fattened in a couple hours. But you're curing when it's really done. If you've grown this and you've gone through the sweat of 8-10 weeks to grow this thing, I'd wait out another month so it's cured properly.
In an ideal world, then. Yeah. So if
you want to dry it slow and you want to let it cure, and by burping it at least, I mean, you could get away with 2.5-3 weeks.
No, but if it was in your ideal world, let's say everything's an option now, how long would you expect the bud to have cured before you smoke it?
6 weeks is good.
6 weeks you're happy with, Brandon?
I don't know. When I get bad and I look at it, I know if it's good or bad. I don't know. I just feel it.
Owen, your minimum standard, if everything was an option?
Jesus, bro, I've smoked it wet.
No, but let's indulge ourselves.
There was a time where I did microwave.
Your preference, your
preference is a dry week and then cure like 3 weeks, 2-3 weeks.
I'm a fan of the months situation.
Months.
I was going to say, a guy that I really, really dug as a grower was a guy called Soma. And he would Soma seeds. He would do... sometimes up to a year, he would put whatever he wanted, he would seal it up, and that's what his cure would be.
But the reality is, when you're waiting that long, nothing else is really happening. It can only cure to one level. Then it's going to be degrading.
There we go.
So you could be sitting with a fucking jar. It's 3 years old. It's 3 years shit.
There we go. Thank you. Yeah. Shit. Absolute shit. I did that.
Because you can only keep weed for so long.
Yeah.
Well, your terpenes essentially will just go. So you'll literally just have plant matter with a bit of THC that's degraded because terpenes don't live
you'll
forever.
see the flower starts changing colour.
It goes like a brown.
And then it's just, why don't we do
and
this?
It does. It couch locks you. The longer you keep it, the more it makes...
and it gets like wine. But guys, I think that's maybe another situation grow insert thing. Before we come into land, just a shout out on Facebook. There's the Knysna Cannabis Action Group. They're doing a Human Rights Day march on the 21st of March. So that's basically next week. It's all on Facebook. We'll put the link in the thing. But basically, Knysna got hit with this raid, and people are getting a bit hurtful about it. So please, if you can, go support them, rock up. It's a really great crowd. I hear it's pretty tough out there. The cops are still pretty brutal. But please, go, support, hey? I don't think any of us will be down there because we're all in D-Day mode, hey?
Yeah.
D-Day mode. Yep, D-Day's coming up. D-Day's going to be good.
He's going to be back in LA.
Yeah, what are you doing on D-Day?
No, he's back in LA.
No, no. Well,
D-Day's like every day.
but isn't there no like celebration, no festival, no?
20th. 420
in LA.
Yes.
So you celebrate every day, bro. 420 every fucking day is a celebration.
Yeah, we also. But I'm saying like we're doing the 420 festival. Obviously, it's something that we do here.
Oh, I would have done.
There's just too many. There's just
it's insane.
It's just every other dude wants to hold a festival about 420, and they've just whoever's got the biggest sponsors and whoever's got burner and
there's coffee hangouts. There's mad hitters. There's fucking there's way too many. There's
I think
festivals
in LA it's FO 2020 FO 7.
Good one, buddy. He's been waiting so long to bring that on. He's like, I'm waiting for that moment, and there it is.
There's a big wait.
Grab it, buddy. Good one.
Folks, thank you very much for joining us. Please check out D-Day. It's coming up. It's going to be dank. Oaks, Dad Bar, Seed Oaks, Munchies, edibles.
And Mary
bombs.
Java will be there with coffee.
MJ Cafe in the house. They're going to be representing, share things. But please check out the links. Please support, guys. Thank you for being here. Anything you feel like we need to support, punt, projects, or should we just out of here?
Right, out of here, bro.
Out of here.
Yeah,
Okay.